Yo guys, what's going on? Acez here today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be checking out the patch notes for patch 16.5.0 here in Escape from Tarkov. And I can tell you there's probably more to the story than what we have here in these patch notes. Do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like on this video. And of course, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more Escape from Tarkov content. In case you missed the thank you video for 30,000 subscribers, we do now have merch. One design, the Rat Money Rat. You can check it out in the YouTube shop tab on the channel. All you got to do is click on the Acez EFT channel and scroll over to the shop tab if you want to check out what we got. Let's hop into this one here today, ladies and gentlemen. I can always tell you how much is going to be in a patch based on the scroll bar on the right. And this scroll bar, without even looking at anything in the patch, I haven't spoiled it for myself yet, I can tell you that there's a little something hidden behind the scenes. There's either going to be an event, some sort of major content drop. There's something, because this is not a 5-hour patch, let alone an 8-hour patch. So it was originally scheduled for 5 hours. The patch got extended. That's all on their Twitter if you're interested in where this information's coming from. Might even be on the launcher in that, red bar they do sometimes at the top. But the new patch is not yet live and it's been 8 hours. So there's something going on, and if it's not in the patch notes, which I doubt it is. So we have changes. Audio changes first. Rebalance the wind and rain. Reduce the volume of first and third person looting sounds. Increase the volume radius of player movement. Reduce the reverb effect on locations. Equalize the volume of sounds with and without active headsets. And equalize the volume for all active headsets. All right, let's break all this down. Number one, we had a in-game poll about wind and rain. And honestly, I don't remember the exact results, but they were posted, I believe, on Twitter and probably on the forum somewhere. I thought the rain was fine. I genuinely did, but I'm also a huge fan of the rain in Escape from Tarkov. It feels very immersive, and I know a lot of you guys actually hate the rain for Tarkov. So this makes sense for the large majority of the player base who probably just doesn't like the rain. As for the wind, the wind's the wind, man. It never really felt too overpowering, but that's just me personally. As for the looting sounds, I'm a PVE gamer, so I can't really say much for that. As for my looting sounds personally, I thought it was okay, but it's one of those things that, it didn't really annoy me, so I don't know if it's like a high decibel range for certain people and it was annoying them. I don't know all that shit, all right? Increase the volume radius of player movement. I don't know exactly what that means. If that's our own movement, hey, it doesn't affect me in PVE. If it's for everything, like if this is a big PvP change, then I don't know if this is good or not. You guys are gonna have to let me know down in the comments. The reverb effect on a lot of locations, if this means specifically so reverb is kind of that like roomy, voluminous, kind of like fills up your headphones a little bit on a sound effect. So it's not exactly an echo, but it's similar to that. So if that's like when you're shooting, and it's very hard to talk about reverb and not really make it sound like an echo, but there's certain maps like Factory, if you shoot once, there is a very distinct reverb to it, and it really depends on how it's been adjusted, I should say. I can't really say much on it yet until we're in game and we can actually try it, which the patch might actually be done by the time this video does get edited and uploaded to you guys, so make sure you check your launcher, see if it's ready. And then as for equalizing sounds with and without headsets, I actually think this is pretty good, because on my hardcore account recently, I have been doing just a no headset, like decent amount of raids, and I haven't even needed it. Now this is PvE. I would highly recommend using headsets on PvP, obviously, but in PvE, if I'm running around without a headset, something's wrong. Headsets are needed in Escape from Tarkov, in my opinion. Next up is going to be graphics. Just one thing here. Improve the system of flashlight glare. Now multiple flashlights on a weapon will not produce blinding glare at close ranges for the observer. I don't know if I like that. That's definitely like a PvP kind of thing. Unless it's the first person glare, but the way this is being presented, I feel like this is, if you're looking at somebody who has 5 flashlights on their gun, it's not going to increase the blinding effect. That doesn't really make sense to me. So I'm not fully sure on that one. This patch is odd so far. It's a very, very interesting patch. Moving on to balancing. Added a new case for storing keys in the stash, available for purchase at Therapist Loyalty Level 1 and 2. We actually talked about the key case, and we kind of broke it down, what I think it should be. What I think it's going to be is a 3x2. How many slots do I think it should be? I think it should be 196. We'll see what they actually do. I honestly think it's probably going to be like 100, like the dog tag case, but I honestly think it should be 196 just because it's much easier just to buy a bunch of key tools and have more space per slot. So we'll see what they actually do with that. Added new crafting recipes in the Intel Center in the hideout. We'll have to check out those at some point. And then remove the found in raid status for all ammunition. All right, so one thing comes to mind specifically for this change, and that is intermixing ammunition in ammo boxes, number 1, and then number 2, like when filling magazines. If you are filling from a stack that's found in raid, it only takes it from found in raid. And if you're filling from a stack that's not found in raid, it only takes it from the not found in raid. That's when you're topping up the ammunition. So this is a massive quality of life change. This is 100% a W. Now, I don't know if that's going to have any implications on anything else at all in any way, shape, or form. I wouldn't think so. Obviously, the flea market is, not the found in rate shit anymore. So I think we'll be good on this, and I think this is a massive quality of life change. All right, so this next one's pretty interesting. Regular scavs will now say a voice line before attacking an enemy at close range if they are within the player's limited line of sight. Scavs already kind of do this. They already kind of voice comm at you when they kind of aggro onto you. And this is the main reason that PvE specifically is actually so easy right now, in my opinion. Because the PMCs do the same exact thing. If you're within a certain meter distance to an AI, or just like close to them, earshot, whatever, PMCs always voice line if you're near them. And they'll actually voice line on a timer. It's like 30 seconds to a minute or something. And it's like you never really get yourself into a situation that's dangerous accidentally, because the PMCs will always voice comm at you, letting you know they're there. And that's one thing that if you really wanted to make PvE specifically a little more difficult, you would actually take this away. I can understand it for scavs. I definitely can, because scavs, they're just a little annoyances. But PMC specifically, it just feels odd. It feels like it makes the game too easy. That's just my personal opinion. So let's hop into the fixes here. Let's see what we got. All right, so all fixes on screen. Fix the issue with pain sounds not playing when interacting with environment objects that deal damage. Okay. Fix the issue with vegetation sounds not being played for other players. Fix several sound occlusion issues on locations. Fix the game client freezing after a raid with MIP streaming enabled. Fix the animation freezing after reloading the Uzi and PPSH in certain cases. Fix the skill leveling exhaustion not resetting in PvE mode in offline raids. Didn't know about that one, but that doesn't sound very fun. Fix the incorrect behavior of item stacks when dragging them to a container that has an incomplete stack at the same item. That's going to be nice. Yeah, that's going to fix itself mostly for ammo, but that, definitely does happen a lot. So that's nice to see that change and the ammo change as well. It's a lot of quality of life with hoarding ammo. Fix the error 257 when trying to unpack a loot container in certain cases. Fix the display of saved equipment presets in PvE. Fix the incorrect water filter consumption at the water collector. Interesting, that's still going on. I mean, we've had that issue plenty of times over the last few years. Fix an issue where the hideout zone construction would not complete after a raid if the player had waited for the construction to complete while in the hideout. Simply an issue we've had for a while, so if that's actually finally fixed, that'd be nice. Fix the incorrect weight of 9x21. Fix the missing damage from explosions when using the AGS launcher in PvE. Fix the display of prestige icons when viewing a player's profile and post-raid. Fix the cause of long loading and reset of raid progress in PvE in certain cases. Didn't know about that one either. Fix the container block activation when trying to use the corresponding item block hotkeys when naming containers. What on earth does that mean, Nikita? That's some in-depth stuff. Fix an issue with ballistic plates needed for stashing tasks would get used straight from the equipped armor, vest, or plate carrier. Fixed multiple culling and geometry bugs on locations and multiple fixes for AI behavior mechanics. All right, so here's the thing. We went through all that. This is like a hot fix level, in my opinion. Like, if we're 8 hours deep, let me check right now for you. I will check live. I won't even cut the recording. Got to get my watch time somehow, right? Let's load up the Twitter here. Let's go to the Tarkov Twitter account. Let's see. Is the patch complete? The patch is still not complete. It's been 4 hours since the extension. So, we're pushing 9 hours right now. There is no way there's not something major coming. And if it's not in the game instantly, like right away, I don't know. But Nikita has posted multiple little teaser video things on his Twitter account. So something's coming. Obviously, they're not going to give us everything. They're not going to tell us everything. But I'm hoping RPG, number one. That's the number one thing that I think I want. RPG in the game. I don't have to say this one a million times, but obviously we want ref and PVE. We want prestige mode and PVE. None of that's mentioned here. There was kind of a little kind of like what's coming thing that was posted to Twitter recently. I don't know if I'll flash it up on screen or not for you guys. If I do, I do. If I can't find it, I can't find it. But it really didn't seem like there was too much for the PvE side of the game when it comes to those two things specifically. So that's all I have for you for now. We'll see when this patch finishes up. Hopefully by the time I edit this and upload it for you, it'll probably be around, what, 12:30 p.m., something like that. So hopefully it's done by then. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure you subscribe and check out the merch. I did kind of go over some of the stuff that I'd like to do and change with the current design as well. In the thank you for 30,000 subscribers video, which will be the one right before this one. Check that out if interested. Appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.